Hey guys, Trick here. I hope you're having a good one. Here on the channel, we love our Steam Deck, but today I wanted to put it to the test. Does Valve's latest handheld have what it takes to take on Unreal Engine 5? Let's check it out. For the uninitiated, Epic Games, besides owning Fortnite and some other properties, they became most popular with their Unreal Engine. And today, Unreal Engine 5 is their next generation of that specific game engine. Coming into 2023, there is a long list of titles that are planning on using it. Bethesda's Redfall, GSC's Stalker 2, CD Projekt Red's Witcher 4, and The Day Before all showcase this engine with stunning visuals. That sounds great and all, but we do have some reservations about how it's going to perform. Case in point, the latest release of Forsaken and the steep hardware requirements for Returnal and Hogwarts Legacy. These games look phenomenal, but they have some extremely steep hardware requirements. So today, I wanted to take some time and show you guys what Unreal Engine 5 looks like on the Steam Deck with some actual in-game gameplay. For my testing today, I've chose to run my deck in docked mode. That way I can use an external SSD installed with Windows 11. As Digital Foundry has already mentioned, there are a couple of games that already have Unreal Engine 5 implemented, and I wanted to show those and showcase some of the main features of Unreal Engine 5. First up is Fortnite, and that is Epic Games' flagship when it comes to Unreal Engine 5 support. It showcases many of the major components of the technology. Temporal Super Resolution is Epic's upscaling solution built into the engine to enable seamless integration of upscaling into upcoming titles. Features like DLSS and FSR require a bit more work to get enabled, but with TSR, it's all in-engine. Nanite is a virtualized geometry system that enables larger object counts with more complex geometries while rendering only what can be perceived by the player. With this, more complex scenes and assets can be used while not bogging down the entire experience, rendering details that the gamer just can't see. The goal with Lumen is to iterate on global illumination and reflections with Unreal Engine to solve some of the more considerable challenges with lighting. With software and hardware accelerated support, integrating GI and higher quality reflections become much less troublesome for developers and more enjoyable for gamers. Though these are some of the more prominent features in Unreal Engine 5, there's a couple more of note. Megascans, metahumans, and broader device scalability support make the future of game development, especially on newer levels of hardware, much more lucrative. Just as Digital Foundry said in their video, enabling the high preset enables both Nanite and Lumen. As expected, our performance drops considerably. For a competitive esports game, 30 FPS isn't all that great. On a broader scale though, seeing this type of performance from a AAA game is promising. Now Fortnite isn't the only game on the market that currently has Unreal Engine 5 enabled. Over on their website and their marketplace, they have some pre-built packages and projects that you can compile and play on your own devices. So let's take a look at the OG of these demos, Valley of the Ancients. This older game showcases all three features of Unreal Engine 5 while highlighting megascans in the environment and scalability features of the engine. So if we hit the tilde key and type in scalability, and then type the number that corresponds with the setting you want, hit enter, and the engine will automatically apply all of the pre-baked scalability options, and eventually everything will stabilize. Scalability 0. Ooh, that looks so bad. Ugh. However, low just looks terrible when sitting in front of the fire. At this setting, we're not only dialing back shadows and texture quality, but we're also running around 25% of our native render resolution. Temporal super sampling can only do so much. Let's launch the drone and see what happens. And floating around in the kind of rocky desert area, this highlights a lot of the mega scans, because each of these rocks and bunches of rocks are actually scans of real-life environments and placed into the world by the developer. And as we go from the light world and into the dark, we're clearly stretching the legs of Lumen as well as the Unreal Engine's lighting systems, and man, it just looks so good. Let's go to the dark world. Oh, look at that. That looks so good. But that performance, whew, that looks pretty bad. As we destroy the upcoming barriers and proceed to the boss, medium detail settings look like a good compromise between the visual effects and performance. Yeah, I mean, we're right around 20 FPS. Unfortunately, this demo uses huge textures and complex character models. Going into the boss cinematic is very sluggish, but it looks just mighty fine. Overall, this game is a good starting point for enjoying some of the detail and the finesse that's able to be produced with Unreal Engine 5, and it just shows just what this engine can bring to the table. Alright, I want to crank it up to 10 and show you guys the city sample. This demo was used with the Matrix Awakens tech demo that was available for the next-gen consoles. Unfortunately, many of the assets and characters are trademarked, so Epic Games can't legally package that up for us to use in the product demo. Regardless, metahumans take center stage along with mass AI and further improvements to Lumen and Nanite to bring the world of the Matrix closer to a gaming reality. With this much detail though, the Steam Deck struggles to hit 30 FPS. Let's see, we are at scalability, just type that in. And it looks like we're at scalability 1. So this is medium detail settings. And guys, that looks really good. We're getting just below 30 FPS, low to mid 20s. But for a tech demo on the Steam Deck, this looks fantastic. With all the Unreal Engine 5 features enabled, the one that sticks out the most to me is TSR. You'll notice that as the vehicles and characters move across the screen, there is a significant amount of ghosting that's going on. It's a bit distracting at the lower frame rates, but I would guess with a bit of tuning, this could be improved for a more pleasurable Steam Deck experience. Sure, this isn't a full release. Can I drive? I didn't know you could drive in this game. Holy cow, this is new. Let's drive. I didn't know we could drive in this game, and even at 21 frames per second, this looks phenomenal. I had a little bit of a snag there, but that's okay. This plays really well for 20 frames per second, and this is at like medium to highish quality settings. So that looked really amazing, but cities and rocks can only look so good. What does Unreal Engine 5 look like when we drop you into a luscious biome? This next demo is provided by MAWI United GmbH, man that's a good name, and it showcases megascans and luscious organic environment. Though the sample provides various rendering qualities and resolutions for the user to choose, none of these options are really all that good for the Steam Deck. At medium quality levels, the environment starts to fill up with detail, especially on the ground with undergrowth springing about, but performance hovers around the low 20s. At low, performance just isn't that much better, and there's a huge dip in quality. Shifting gears to a desert oasis, the performance is a bit better, but it's still just not that playable in my book. But this sort of biome would lead me to believe that the upcoming Dune RPG will look awesome on the Steam Deck. So there's the desert, not a lot of detail, but once you get here into this oasis, that just looks so good. This is medium quality settings. You can see all the underbrush there under our feet. You've got all the shadow going on with the foliage. The performance isn't great, but these are using the highly detailed megascans, so hopefully they can balance the quality a little bit in order to optimize for performance, but it looks so good. To be fair to the developer, they didn't intend for these projects to be running on a Steam Deck with a target hardware of like the 80 class GPUs from NVIDIA, so I gotta give them props for what they've been able to produce. But I gotta say, it still looks pretty good on a Steam Deck. So, final thoughts of Unreal Engine 5 on the Steam Deck. On the one hand, the graphical potential that Unreal Engine 5 brings to the table is something that is just quite phenomenal. Features like Nanite and Lumen cost a lot in the performance department, but dynamic LODs and TSR help offset that cost with minimal visual impact. And since these are tech demos and not full-fledged games, I imagine upcoming games will be fine-tuned to minimize performance hiccups in frame rate and optimize for performance. On the other hand though, given the performance we're seeing with the Steam Deck as well as the hardware requirements from the tech demos, the Steam Deck does have a couple of challenges ahead. Even though 800p at 30 FPS is the current performance target from the Valve engineers, these demos show that hitting that threshold will be difficult challenges for developers. Hovering between low and medium scalability settings shows acceptable performance and visual quality, so the likelihood of that translating to a fully shippable game is unlikely. With all that in mind, I continue to urge Steam Deckers to kind of temper their expectations with AAA titles and upcoming games. Not every one of them is going to have the performance that you expect at the quality levels that you deserve. But I also urge game developers to leverage some of the unique features built into Unreal Engine in order to level and customize their games for the Steam Deck. The deck is a popular platform, and by fine-tuning the levels of detail, mesh complexity, and other heavy hitters in the performance department will help deliver a decent image at an acceptable performance level. And that's all I've got to say about Unreal Engine 5 on the Steam Deck. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments if you guys think I missed anything or if I should revisit this once we get some more titles under our belt. If you guys want anything custom built, definitely reach out to me over on Twitter. My DMs are always open, and I hope to catch you guys in the community tab. I'll probably post a poll to see what you guys want to see next week. But thank you guys for sticking to the end of the video. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. We'll catch you in the next one.